find me though. Cha-cha matcha with a rockin' black clothes. Whippin' around that Batmobile, duckin' 5-0. If you step to me, then be prepared for smoke, lil' bro.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with the Arizona Cardinals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Sony Michel, his first carry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
48 for Mike. Yeah, that's what I do. You got 20. You got 10.
A play fake to Michel. Now Newton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man complete. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Check. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58.
Out of the gun, Newton. Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And they will run it with Michel. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Albert Rosa set to kick off.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella.
At their own 25-yard line.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Murray now. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now it's Murray. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Edelman was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Isaiah Simmons in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the 1st sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So now after the sack, Cam of the Patriots going to look up at a 3rd and long. Here's Newton. He completes it right side to White. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And that interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Grant Haley in on the stop.
Grant Haley.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
At the 10-yard line. Brings up third down.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Newton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1.
Cardinals nothing.
They'll come out in the pistol from the 2 now, second and goal. Now a pitch out to Michel. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And he's got it to make it now 13-0.
Makes the score Patriots 13. Cardinals nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosazon to kick it away. And by rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Murray again. This is Drake. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. John Simon that time coming through to make the play.
And there's Kyler Murray being sacked, and in his first year in the league, surprising to a lot of people, he was the most sacked quarterback, went down 48 times. And when you think about the mobility that he possesses, that really does surprise people because they think they can get out of everything. But so often, those young guys who can move around a lot, they keep plays alive so long that sometimes they actually get trapped. Defenses are going to test him and continue to test him. I think he's got something for them as he continues to move forward.
Murray now on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And the Cardinal.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Incomplete.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
A 3-yard gain.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Devin McCourty picks it off. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
And he puts it through.
Makes the score Patriots 20, Cardinals nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Able to find Isabella. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Shotgun now from Murray. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the 31, Newton, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? Check Mike. Check Mike. 48 for Mike.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. This is White on the screen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. The pitch to White. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Let's go, D. Double time. You got 3. 20. 48.
He may try and run for this. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. Pretty sizable gain of 8 that time on the keeper, but now it's 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Rosa's kick is good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. John Simon picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, Murray. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella.
Their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the all-pro Stephon Gilmore. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defensive coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I can go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at it, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
Brought him down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards on the play. First down.
15.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
6 at the 38-yard line.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That's good.
15 yards on the play, first down.
1st and 10 at the 10.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Trying to force it into Edelman there, and it's 2nd down.
The 23-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun with Michel. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brings up 3rd down.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
They gonna need some therapy.
Newton throwing again. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Cam Newton keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Patriots continue to roll. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella.
At their own 25-yard line.
If you know, you know. That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And his throw here's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He can run for it, and he will. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, 1st down.
When teams have a tough time running the ball, as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
John Simon
in on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at their 49-yard line.
On play action, it's Murray. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And open left side, it's his running back with it. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Murray off play action. He's going to go up top for the end zone. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Devin Asiasi with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Point is good.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will...